guys, what's up? How's it going? Today we're gonna pencil and then really draw into Sonic and how we can kind of draw him. He's a great character. I've drawn him a few times on this channel, but I kind of want to walk really through it step by step for anyone to do it. So that's what we're gonna do. So if you want to do that, you want to draw Sonic, let's just stick around. All right, let's get on this. I'm gonna be using this mechanical pencil to draw in lines. And I'm gonna draw them in relatively, how do you say that? Relatively light. So I hope you can see it. I know a big part of this is being able to see. So we're gonna draw him running and looking behind over his shoulder. Start with a circle. I'm gonna chop that circle. Hopefully you can see this. Barely see it. But don't worry, it'll get darker fast. I'm drawing the center line of that ball of his head. What I want to do is I kind of want to find the angle of his head. And don't worry, I'll go through this relatively fast so you can, I can get to the darker stuff. Triangle ears. He's got his cool spikes on his back. What I'm doing right now is I'm doing stuff only for placement. Purely for placement. I want to place this stuff because the reason you do that is you don't want stuff to be off balance. If it's proportional and it's just kind of wiggly and there's other things wrong with the drawing, but it's proportional, it's still gonna look kind of alright. It's still gonna look pretty good. But let's just say it's a good drawing, but the proportions are totally screwed up. It's gonna look bad overall. It's gonna look a lot worse. So I would say above all, proportion is key to making most of the drawing, probably like 80% of it. So that's really what I want to nail down the most. I want to nail down where things are placed, the size of stuff, that kind of thing. That's where that's gonna be the most. And he's throwing his one hand to the right. He does that same thing. I see it in every video game. It's like he's grabbing out almost with that one hand, and the other hand's on his back. And right now what I'm doing is I'm just throwing thin lines everywhere to get general proportion, not exact proportion yet. His feet are huge in proportion to the rest of his body. And other foot. So that's my general proportion. Hopefully you can kind of see that. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go into it more firmly with this kind of black colored pencil, and I'm going to gradually erase some of this as I go along with the back end of this. So let me just go into the head first. And what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to knock back the pencil a little bit, but I still need it there, right, for proportion, for my own personal proportion. Because what I'm doing is I'm thinking of the drawing in steps, in stages. Hold on, let me sharpen my colored pencil. Alright. So I'm gonna go into it right now, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into that furrow of the eyebrow. Pulling that up. And I want to give it that swoop that his eye has. His eye has that kind of Mickey Mouse, I don't know how to say it, curve. His eyeball. And his eyebrow, his brow line is going to have a thickness to it, so I throw it on the top here. That's also another typical Sonic trait. the pupil, and then you have kind of the, you know, the iris and the pupil there. And I leave a little bit of a round right here for the highlight toward the bottom. Going over to the ear. The ear is just a triangle, but I like to throw in an extra dimension maybe. I'll throw a little like kink at the top of it, little edge. And then inner ear. And I'm gonna throw a little bit of a shadow underneath that. Top of the head, far side ear. You're going to see a little bit more of the back of the ear because it's on the far end. Pull down, far side eye. It's gonna roll around that far end. I mean, it is a circle in some versions, but I like that light bulb look a lot better. It makes it good. It gives it more dimension and more personality, I think, than the round. Far end of the mouth. And you can give him any type of mouth you want. You can give him this little sly smile. His tummy's different color. Now let's go into the other arm. That one's kind of bent. Keep that bend. Keep the things proportional. Make it look like both arms are in the same design. I don't want to make this arm rail thin and this one kind of big towards the glove. I want to make this one big towards the glove as well. His hand over here is going to be relatively simple. I want it to be roundish because he's got that, again, that Mickey Mouse glove thing going on along. So and he seems to have 5 fingers. Unlike other creations that tend to have like 4 fingers, but he has 5. I don't know if he has different number of fingers in different video games. Does he? I have like no idea. So hopefully you're making it through this, and you're doing good. What I want to know right now, I want to not pause, but I want to ask you. I need you to help me. I want to update this channel constantly for the next month, and I want to know what subjects you want to know about, what cartoons you want to know about, what is it that you want, and I'm gonna make it happen. So I need you to write that down, and I really want to grow my presence on this channel with you guys. So just let me know, and I'll most likely make a video about it. Just give me some ideas. You know, is there an issue in drawing that I haven't covered, or maybe I should recover or cover more? Is there a character that you want to draw? Anything like that. Okay, let's take care of his leg. It's weird, you know, like, I know in the new Sonics, he's got like freakishly long legs in proportion to his body. I dig that look, you know, but I also kind of dig the old school look where, you know, he's just like a regular, like, cute rodent with like no, you know, wild proportions or anything. They made him really awesome, and I think Sonic Adventure from the Dreamcast and on, I think they made him really cool looking. Down here, same overlapping of the material, kind of that same kind of folding of the glove there, but that foot is kind of creasing toward the, as it steps in the bottom. He tends to have this kind of, what it is, like a latch. Almost like he's got a, a latch across his shoe. And then you have to remember the bottom sole section of the shoe. And let's go back toward the other hand. So this, I gotta be careful as well. I want to make the hands the same scale, like they're on the same beam here. So I'm gonna be careful that, because a lot of times you'll see that, like stuff like one hand's way bigger than the other, and it's, even if you account for like perspective, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. So keep an eye on that. Spike. It's up to you how big you want the spikes to be. I know there's been a lot of different types. Then we'll go back to the back foot. And trying to make those match as well, make them look like they're on the same character. I would say that's one of the biggest, I would say, falling throughs, like one of the biggest mistakes someone who's kind of new would make, would be making that mistake, would be having drawn, let's say, another limb, and it should be more or less symmetrical. See right there, that's a mistake. I gotta make that flat in the back, not big. Drawing the same limb, but, drawing another limb, but making it look different on the same character. Making it look like it's like off model, I think they call it in animation. But don't do it off model. Try to erase some of the beginner lines of the pencil. This is more of like a colored pencil type thing. Trying to erase the initial pencil stuff as much as I can anyway. This is a demo. If I was doing this for myself, I'd probably, take much more care going into specifics, but right now, since we're kind of on a deadline, I don't want you to be too horrendously bored watching me, erase. I'm gonna do that. I guess that's enough for the moment. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in and try to solidify this, because we got to figure out what obviously the tool that we're using. So I'm going to use the benefits of this tool, and I am going to just kind of, I wouldn't say shade it, but mild, very mild, put some very mild shading. Throw in some detail that would be missing. Like little bit of shading, because the light sort of is coming from up to down, like pretty much almost always. Yeah, Sonic is cool. It'll always be one of my, he will always be one of my favorite characters, despite, some of the newer stuff has gone off the rails a little. I wasn't big on after Sonic X, I think. That was like 8 years ago. But after that stuff, I wasn't really big on a lot of the properties. And I still played them. I played pretty much everything Sonic was in, but I was just like, it never, for me, never captured the same thing that the old series did, and Sonic Adventure, and that Dreamcast era. I mean, that's where it really caught me hard. You know, I love the originals as well, like 1 and 2. We have the Sonic Collection and stuff like that. But yeah, right now, for the most part, I'm just kind of noodling around details. Putting in some small shadows where a shadow would be. And I don't mean the character shadow. That will come up, though, if you want to see that. Because he isn't just a color differentiation. There's definitely some different things that Shadow has in his design. If you just look at a line art of him, there is some differences with him and Sonic. He's clearly like the Vegeta to Sonic, right? Like the Vegeta is like the Goku Vegeta would be like Sonic in the Shadow. Let me sit back a little bit, take a look. All right, I think there's not enough going on over here on this side. I'm gonna actually throw in a little bit of shading on the red portions of his shoe, what would be his red. I just think it needs some weight. You know, you have to look at this as a drawing, right? Like, look at it as the design, like, okay, I'm designing this drawing, not just you want it on there, but what would help this if somebody just saw the drawing, right? With no references. Like, say somebody doesn't know what Sonic is, right? And they just saw the drawing. Can you make it presentable enough for them to tell what it is and for them to be like, oh, that's a good drawing? You know, can you do that? If they don't know, they don't have the baggage of the character, right? Of the character themselves. So that's kind of what you should think about that for everything you do. You know, if they don't know what the character is, would they still be like, oh, that's a cool drawing, you know? Would they still acknowledge it's a good drawing? Keep that in mind. Because that's a big thing. That's something a lot of people do not do. Like, they really don't do that. Let me take a look at it from far away. I feel like it's too bright on this side. Maybe it's because I'm near that. The light over here. I feel like it's too bright on the side, on the right side of him, like this shoe. Be aware of where you put most of your focus too. Maybe I'm just ignoring this shoe over here because it bores me or something. I mean, that's why I'm not pushing so hard on the pencil or not putting as much effort into it. Pay attention to where your effort goes. You should really, and that'll kind of help you get good, because you'll be like, huh, I keep making my backgrounds like garbage. Or, you know, it might not be that you're bad at them. It might be that you are just not concentrating on them because it doesn't interest you. So what would interest you in that topic? Figure that out. Find what would interest you in it. Find it, get good at it, get good at like being, you know, interested by it, and you're going to find yourself drawing that stuff a lot better. A lot better. You're going to be like, oh, okay, cool. I used to be bad at this. I thought I sucked at it. But in reality, you know, you just weren't interested by it. What makes you interested by it? And that interest will grow into actively working on it. Just a small, you know, like idea there. Take it or leave it. All right, that's it. That's Sonic the Hedgehog, one of my favorite characters of all time. Hopefully you followed along with me. If not, it's totally fine. You just watch me. I hope you learned something. Rewind the video as you need, and I need a favor from you. Like I said, please hit me up with what you want to see from this channel. What kind of videos is there an issue you really want fixed? Is there something that's really bugging you? You're like, oh, I can't do this. I want to make a video on it. I want to clear it up for you. Is there a character you really want to see? You know, as far as I'm going to do most of the Sonic characters, but, you know, next. But tell me what you're doing. Tell me what you want, and I'll see you guys soon. Hit that like button if you like the format, okay? And I'll see you soon, guys. Bye.